Hello, and welcome back to Besties and Book Lore, the series where two besties talk about their current reads, both good and bad. This episode, we are talking about our May reads, and we will have another video coming up with some news and some new releases and some of our favorite things for the month as well. So we're kind of starting a new format where we do two separate videos, and we'll kind of see how that feels to all of us. So yeah, I guess we can just jump right into what we read.
Yeah, so we only read two books that were the same, but man, were they two books.
Yep.
So we read and finished what's out right now for The Legend-Born Cycle by Tracy Diorn. And so Alex finished Legend-Born in May, and we both read Bloodmarked and Oathbound in May. And
so good. We loved it.
Yeah, I just no notes, Tracy, no notes.
I will say, okay, here's my one note, and it's more about Legendborn, and it's just be prepared. It's not even that it's bad. It's just be prepared for like an intricate, like magic system.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to remember different levels of like mages or whatever, like magic users and different types. Like there's like what, two or three different types of magic. It's really all
there's
the same
three different real types of magic.
Yeah, it's like different cultures of like the same base of magic. So you have to kind of keep up with that. So just be prepared for that, I guess, is my only like warning of the series. But other than that, once you get into it, it's so good.
Yeah, she writes just really nice characters. We've talked on this page before that I get really drawn to a series if I like the side characters, not just the main characters. And I think she did a really good job of you really like William and Lark and Alice and Mariah and Patricia. Like she just makes you like all these other characters that are, side characters. But she just does a good job of developing them that you really feel like invested in them as people too. And I just felt like she did a really good job with that.
Yeah, we also have talked about how it's given us a perspective that we probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah.
Tracy Dion is a Black writer and she's author, and she's done a really good job putting you in the perspective of this young Black girl. And just she's connecting with her ancestors, and you realize how the things that her ancestors have gone through would affect her perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just done in such a like gentle way. I feel like I don't know. It's really opened my eyes more than anything. I think that I've, especially fiction, any like work of fiction that I've ever read.
Yeah, it feels like when I heard it was YA, I get like immediately cautious, right? I'm like, oh no. And then I heard she's like 16 and I'm like, oh no. Both of those feel like icks to me, and nothing about this felt like an ick. Like she did it so well. Yeah, she talks about really hard topics in a fantasy world and in a real world, and how those two things overlap. She doesn't shy away from talking about racism or white people oppression, slavery. All of those topics are covered, but in the way she did it was just so well done. She so good.
I will say, while you're talking, I did have one other note, and that is that you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit that the 16-year-old and like all these young like teenagers are just like doing all of this crazy stuff, and the parents are just like, it's cool, like they're just oblivious, and they're but I mean, how else would you do that, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
It's a secret magic system, like and I also think it's cool that it's set in just regular like the world that we live in now.
Yeah, it's at UNC Chapel Hill it starts at.
Yeah.
So that's like a normal place. People go there all the time. So
yeah. So for it to be like within our just typical world, I think there has to be a little bit of like just letting logic go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, So my husband also is reading the series. He's in Bloodmarked right now, and he likened it to like a fraternity or sorority. And he was like, it feels like that kind of vibe, but with magic. And so when I thought about it that way, I was like, oh yeah, like that to me makes it feel a little bit more realistic that, there's some kind of secrets with this organization. So, um,
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
that was a
so
great one.
good.
I'm glad if we were going to read something together, it was going to be that.
I know it was so good. Cannot recommend it enough. Honestly, if you've ever been like, it's YA, I don't want to read it, like,
Um,
no, read
it's
it.
something different and special. Like, if you're
It's
looking for
special
something,
is the exact way. It's special. This series is special.
yeah. If you're looking for something to kind of switch things up, because I feel like it's totally unlike anything we've read.
Yeah.
Um, so if you're looking for something you're kind of in a rut or something along those lines, like I feel like I would highly recommend this.
Yes. Yes.
Um, you didn't read Last Night Was Fun this month, right?
No, but I read it.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was so cute.
yeah. So I read that one this month, thanks to Kim's recommendation. I got off NetGalley. It's probably
It's
out.
out on
So.
the 10th of June. So it's
Okay,
almost out. It's not quite out
yeah,
yet, but pretty close.
okay. And yeah, it was great. It was good. I read pretty much all YA this month. That was like one of my only exceptions, and it was a good one to do that with. I love like a mixed media, like they text each other in it, and
Yeah.
I really like that a lot. I'm like a little notes to each other person. Like I loved yours truly, um, and a couple other books that I've read that have had that same kind of format, and I just really like that. So yeah, it was a great one. I don't have a ton of notes for it, but it
Yeah, it was a cute, like, it's the perfect time for it to come out in June because, like, if you're somebody who's going to the beach or the pool and you need something like cutesy and fun, it's also baseball themed, and we're obviously in baseball season. So I felt like it's like the perfect summer book. It's baseball, it's cutesy, like, it's so cute. Yeah.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's by Holly Michelle. So if you're looking for it.
Great. Okay, do you want to do yours? Do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, so I read, man, a broad range of books this month. Um, so I'm going to start with my like best books of the month. I also want to comment that we are filming this on the 30th of May. So there is still one day of May, and I have two books that I'll probably finish. So I'll like reference those at the end, but I won't have like a rating for them because I'm not quite done, but I will be done by the end of May. Um, so I listened on audiobook to The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, which I've never done any Catherine Center books before. And I don't know why I haven't. I think just there's so many romance authors out there. But this book was like borrow now on Libby for audiobook. So I got it and it was so cute. Since then, I've seen a lot of people post it. It's like one of their top romances. And
Yeah.
absolutely, I can see why. It's like very serious. It's about a girl who is a full-time caretaker for her father who is permanently disabled. And so she's a writer and she just writes remotely with him. She gets an opportunity to go write a screenplay in LA with a very established writer who is trying to break out of his writing of thrillers, and he needs to write a romance. And so she goes to LA to write with him. And so she talks through a lot of trauma. He has a lot of trauma. He has had a medical diagnosis a couple of years ago that impacted his whole life. So they both have a lot of really serious things that they discuss, but the book is so cute. It's so well done. I definitely will be picking up other Catherine Center books. I know one of her books just came out. I think it's called The Love Haters this month. So I added it on Libby already because I liked this one
Nice.
so much. My other 5-star book for the month, other than the Oathbound and Bloodmarked that we already talked about, was Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I will never stop talking about this book. Ali Hazelwood is a genius. The way she writes banter is top tier banter. And I think a lot of this book, when it, maybe you remember this, Alex, when she announced this book and the fact that there is a 15-year age gap between the main characters, people were like, nah, No, I'm not reading it.
That
I'm
is a
not
lot.
reading it.
That
Yeah,
is, yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. It so you don't have to read her book Not in Love, but it is the same characters from Not in Love. And so the main female character is Maya, who is Eli's sister. Eli is the main male character in Not in Love. So this is his sister, and she travels to Italy for his wedding. And so she gets kind of reconnected with somebody who's in his orbit. Um, so it's like a fun destination wedding. They're like having all these things happen in Italy. The wedding is cursed. It's just so cute. It's I Allie Hazelwood, you are brilliant. You are brilliant. It's so good.
And I still haven't read a book by Allie Hazelwood, so
I know. I'm trying to get Alex to read Not in Love.
yeah,
So
I'm getting there. I'm getting
yeah.
there. I did start reading one of her books and I didn't finish it, but it wasn't like a hard DNF. It was like something else came up and I can't even remember which book it was. I maybe like Love Hypothetically, or is that one of
Yeah,
them?
Love Theoretically, yeah. Yeah.
Theoretically. Okay. It might have
Yeah,
been
so
that.
she has her STEM series, but these are not like she has other books. So these are not considered like in her STEM series. They're science based. Like Maya is a physicist. The main male character works for a tech startup.
Mhm.
Like her brother works for a tech startup. So it's like sciency, but it's not science. The other thing I really like that she does is she incorporates her characters from other books. So, like some of her characters from some of her STEM romances, their names come up in this book. And then actually the two characters from Deep End, which I raved about Deep End at our February read. So if you want to know how much I loved that book, you can go watch that video. But those characters are in this book too. Like they make an appearance. They're not like main people, but she just like does a cute job of integrating her world. So
Yeah.
loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, you really loved that. I mean, the whole time
I
you were reading the book, you were texting me like, "I love this book." So it's
and
this.
it was so funny. I was texting you all the funny
Oh
things that
yeah,
she has too. It was so funny.
yeah.
So yes, that was great. Um, highly recommend. Some other good books I read this month. So I read Shield of Sparrows by Devaney Perry. I had to read this. I felt like I was like getting bombarded with it on the internet. And I was like, I have to know for myself whether it's as good as I thought it was, like people were talking about it being. Um, it was good. I would say I didn't rate it 5 stars only because I felt like it was predictable. Like there was
Yeah.
nothing really in it that I was like, oh, this is so surprising to me. Like I was like, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. There was nothing that like shocked me. But I think as far as romanticy goes, it's a very slow burn. So be prepared for that. But the magic system is pretty easy to understand. There's nothing super complex about it. Not everybody has magic, so I think that also makes it easier. The world building is like not that difficult to understand, so I feel like it's a very palatable romantasy book. Like if you didn't ever read romantasy before, this wouldn't be a bad place to start.
Okay. Yeah, I started that one. I'm on like chapter 2. I haven't gotten far at all, but that'll probably be in my June wrap up.
Yeah,
Um,
we can talk more about our thoughts together on it, but
yeah,
yeah, overall I liked it. Again, the only deterrent for me was like this is predictable. I was hoping for something at the end that like might give me a burst of like this is like a twist, and it just didn't feel that way. So
yeah.
everything felt like, nah, that wasn't surprising, but still really liked it, and I know she's going to write more, and I will definitely keep reading this series. So um, yeah, what else did I read? I read a lot of romance. I read a couple of arcs. Probably my favorite ones I read were a book called Charlie Quinn Let Go by Jamie Barron. This was so cute. It's about a girl whose life basically blows up. She loses her job and loses her boyfriend on the same day. She has to go back home. Um, and her sister is like trying to get her to change her life, and in the process of doing that runs into her high school crush, but now they're both in their late 20s. um, and so she's doing a yes month, and so she has to say yes to going on a date with him. It's
Reagan, my daughter Reagan, she's 8 years old. She said her next birthday, can she have a yes day? I'm like, is this like a thing?
it
Like,
is a thing. That's a
okay,
thing. Yeah, where you just have to say yes to everything they want to do.
I guess
But
it's not like I can do it,
yeah,
but
no, would never do that with my children, never. But she does it with her sister, and so then her sister's like, "He asked you on a date, you have to go." So it was really cute. It talks through some trauma with her parent, like her mom. She has like a difficult relationship with her mom, and so that is kind of part of the theme there. But really, really liked it. So I got that off NetGalley. I'll have to look up who the I didn't write down. Usually I'm good about writing down who the publishers are, but I didn't write it down for this one. And then I also read Finding Mr. July by Anna E. Collins, which is another arc I got off NetGalley. About a girl who is trying to win a work competition by creating a calendar of attractive men with dogs. And she becomes friendly with the photographer who is helping her. Um, so it was really cute too. I really enjoyed that one. And then I read An Irish Summer by Alexandra Page, which was another arc about a girl who loses her job and goes to work for the summer in Ireland. Very predictable. Like everything that you would think would happen when somebody would go to Ireland is exactly what happened, but very cute. I enjoyed it. They were all pretty quick reads. And I think all three of them, I think Charlie Quinn Let's Go comes out in September, but I think An Irish Summer and Finding Mr. July come out in July. So great summer reads. Recommend those. Um, and then I think my last like pretty good book I read for the month was Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. So Alex has been the memoir girly
yeah.
this year. And I had two
Yeah.
people recommend to me, like, if you haven't read it, you love Harry Potter, you should listen to Tom Felton's memoir. He narrates it himself. It's very short. It was only about 7 hours. And it was excellent. I really liked it. He talks a lot about his own life, his mental health struggles, as well as his time on set, how things were different for him than it was for some of the other actors, the cool people he's met. Yeah, it was really cute. If you're looking for a memoir, I recommend this one. I think it was really good, especially if you like Harry Potter. If you don't know, Tom Felton plays Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series. So
Yeah.
it was really good. But yes, now we both read memoirs this year.
Yes. I love it.
I read a few other books, nothing that was like stand out. I think my biggest disappointment of the month was I read Summer in the City by Alex Astor. She writes fan romantasy, I think. I haven't read her books. I think she writes Caravel.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
she was.
Light Lark. Yeah, Light Lark. That's it. She writes Light Lark. And people had said that Summer in the City was really cute. It just came out in May. And I got it off Libby and I was pretty disappointed. I thought it was pretty
Meh.
unrealistic and like not that good. So I finished it, but like I wouldn't recommend jumping out to read it. And then I read an arc off NetGalley, and this was the first like flop I've had off NetGalley where like I would not recommend it. So I had a 2-star read this month, which I don't think I've had the whole year so far of that low of a read. Other than maybe that book. Oh, that was in December. The book that I forgot that we read together. That was so bad.
Yeah.
That I can't remember what it's called now, but
Oh, shoot.
I know.
Oh,
Obviously, I don't remember it because I
here
didn't like it,
somewhere.
and I don't want anyone else to read it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was kind of disappointing. But I'm finishing the month. I'm reading Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. I read an arc by Maisie Eddings earlier this year, and so I'm trying a different. I'm listening to that on audio, and then this morning, Through the Dust by Amber Palmer. Then her arc hit my Kindle, and I'm already like 3 chapters in, and I guarantee you I'm going to fly through it. I raved about Between the Pines when I read it in March, and I know this one's going to be just as good. And she has a third one coming out in November, which is she had a big announcement this week about her third book. So that's how I'm going to finish my month, is finishing both of those. I have 2 hours left on the audio, and I will fly through.
It's great that you're finding new authors on NetGalley and stuff, and like,
Yeah, yeah. Now a lot of these authors, I'm like, I would pick up a book by this person again.
yeah,
So
it just shows that that's such a great like platform for like the authors and the readers.
yeah, for their debut books, like to check it out and then be able to promote
Yeah,
them when they might not get that promotion. So yeah, I've read some awesome books.
yeah, awesome.
All right, what'd you read?
Okay, I finished the Hunger Games series. So last month I read Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I finished Mockingjay at the very beginning of the month, and then I wanted the whole like one of the major reasons I read this is that I wanted to read Sunrise on the Reaping because it was so relevant, and I'm like so much of a FOMO reader that I'm like. But then I was like, I have to reread all the or read the books. I hadn't read them yet. I'd
Yeah,
watched
you would watch the movies. Yeah.
I knew the story, so I listened to it on audio. And then I finally got through Mockingjay, and I was going to read Sunrise and the Reaping, and like I had multiple people tell me, "Oh, you need to read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before you read Sunrise and the Reaping," and I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't have to do that." But I realized, like, okay, I'm going to do it the right way. Like, I'm already 3 books in. Like, might
You're
as well.
so deep.
Yeah.
You had to just go for it.
So I read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is like um, Snow's villain origin story, basically. I thought it was a good book, but he's like not a great person, and you're in his head like for it's the longest book in the series. So I didn't think it needed to be that long. I didn't enjoy being in his head as much as I like, the more positive characters of Katniss and then later Haymitch. But it was fascinating and it was a good book. I mean, she's a great writer, so it was. I'm glad I read it. And then once I read Sunrise on the Reaping, I was really glad that I had actually read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because there were a lot of callbacks, and the ending just wouldn't have hit the same if I hadn't have read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I read Salad. I'm like I'm all over the place. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then I did Legend Born. And then I did for my like local book club, Spark of the Everflame. And I've heard so much about that one. I liked it. It wasn't like
You
it
did a
felt
lot on audio, and I have read it and I loved it. Like that is a top series. I'm so still waiting for her to release Burn. But I
yeah,
wonder if it didn't hit the same on audio.
maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't find it to be like super unique. I think after reading so many fantasy books, like it seemed like I don't know, and I didn't think it was bad. I wouldn't regret reading it. I wasn't like, oh, this is annoying the whole time. I felt like it was just very similar to a lot of other fantasy books that I'd read.
You need to keep reading, but we talked about why you're not going to keep reading. So for the moment,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll go back to it once the last book's announced. I will go back to it.
yeah.
I have heard that it like kind of changes up a lot after the
It's
first.
very unique. You just
Maybe like
haven't
that
gotten to the
first.
uniqueness yet. So
Yeah, so
it's very,
it's not it wasn't I didn't dislike it enough to like not continue. I thought it was good. Like I'm not saying it wasn't good. I wasn't blown away. Like I guess is what I'll say. And I was expecting even before you had read it and like I knew that I had like your stamp of approval on it. It like was intriguing to me and I was interested in reading it. So
yeah, I read it a year ago. I read it last
yeah,
June.
it was really
So
big. Like
yeah, it was like right when the third book had come out, I think. And she hadn't gotten like picked up by a publishing house and things like that. So I know that definitely has changed the trajectory of the books. I read them on KU like, a minute ago. So
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, so I did that. Then I did Bloodmarked. Then I did Sunrise on the Reaping. Then I did Oathbound. Then I did Last Night Was Fun, which we've talked about all of these already. So I
yeah.
don't talk anymore about them. And then now I'm like an hour away from finishing a book called Attached at the Hip. So I'll just talk about that because I know I'm going to finish it today or tomorrow. And I probably should have DNF'd it. It was proposed to me as Survivor Rob and Amber fanfic. Um, and I love Survivor. I've talked about this here before.
Yeah, for people if you're unclear, Alex loves
I
Survivor.
love
This is like
Survivor.
a top tier thing for her,
Yeah,
Survivor. So like you've been thinking about reading this book for a month or two now. As
yeah,
soon as you heard about it, you were like, I have to read this book.
yeah. And I thought it was just like an indie, like just because I had just seen videos of the girl who wrote it, I
Yeah.
think, talking about it, which good for her. Like that's awesome. But I found it on the library, like on my cloud library app, and I got it like pretty quickly. And so I didn't realize. I did realize like after reading the first chapter, I looked on the like Amazon listing, and was like a I guess YA. It said 13 to 18. That's YA, right?
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting, but I'm not against. Obviously, like most of the books I read this month
Yeah.
were YA, so that doesn't like put me off. Um, but it's just been very juvenile. The main character like is frustrating at times. Like it talks about, and she's 23, so it's not like she's like 16 or
Yeah.
really young. She's 23, and the premise is that she goes on this show that's like Survivor-esque. She talks about how much she loves Survivor, and she thought she was signing up for Survivor, but also in her contract it said she had to be single, which is weird. Like, I don't think Survivor makes you do that.
Yeah, I would guess Survivors,
Plenty
that's
of
not like
like
a
married people.
requirement.
Yeah, there's plenty of like married people on Survivor. Like,
Yeah.
um, and so I don't know why that wasn't like an alarm bell in her head, but I guess it's like a spin-off show of Survivor that's also a dating show, and it's called Attached to the Hip, and like two people are paired up and literally like tied to each other. And there's just some she breaks up with her boyfriend of 10 years at the airport going to this show. That alone, I'm like, that's not cool. Like, I don't know. I already
Yeah,
feel
not a great way to start a book when you're like now kind of turned off from the main character for doing something kind of icky.
yeah. And she talks about how she's like was never attracted to him, and like I get that they like
Oh,
I get that they were like childhood. It was like a childhood romance kind of. They're like 13 when they, but like you stay with someone for 10 years without thinking they're attractive. Like that's
yeah,
odd.
and then you just dump them at the airport.
And you dump them, and then she falls for like the first hot guy, and she's talking about how like they're gonna get married. Like I don't know, she's just like like planning their future in her head. Like they've made out once. So anyway, it it takes half the book to get to the what I'm assuming to be the final male lead. Like the love interest, and to me, I'm not going to be too harsh because I know it's not for my age group. If I was 16, maybe I would eat it up. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it wasn't what I was hoping for. It didn't feel like Amber and Rob, which was like what it was like posed
So good
as.
as. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for me, the confusing thing is like, okay, maybe it's for a 13 to 15-year-old like kid, but they talk about things that I wouldn't feel comfortable with my 13-year-old reading. Like it wouldn't be extremely inappropriate, but it just isn't like something that would be in a book for a 13-year-old, like talking about
Yeah.
intimacy and like, I don't know. So it was kind of a flop for me. I hope this girl like gets her bag, and she like that was a very creative idea, and I hate like talking negatively about books, but
I know,
uh,
me too.
it just wasn't it for me. I'm waiting for someone to do. Apparently, there is a former survivor. My brother is telling me about. My brother's even more into Survivor than I am. So he said that a former Survivor player is writing a fiction book that's like kind of a Survivor fanfic type situation. I don't think it's going to be a romance, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll hold out for that because
You
that's
never know.
it might be a little more legit. But yeah, that was my month.
Yeah, we had a lot of ups and downs this month. I feel like we say
Yeah,
that every month, but both of us having low reads for this month is pretty uncommon for us.
yeah, but also reading one of the best YA series that I've
Yeah.
ever read.
Oh my gosh, yes.
was a huge hit. So we can't
Yeah,
complain. You gotta hit some duds to get some really good ones. So
for sure, for sure.
yeah.
So, all right, any book you're excited to read in June?
Oh, guy. Um, I'm excited to finish Shield of Sparrows. Definitely. My hold on, I think it's The Invisible Life of June Farrow. It is. I had to postpone it, so I think it's going to be coming back to me in a couple weeks here. I might read that towards the middle or end of June, and that one's been on my physical TBR for a really long time. Um, so I think that one will be fun. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
I read the whole Windy City series, which starts with Mile High. And the last book just came out, and I'm hearing the internet saying it's the best one, which I'm not surprised about. So that series is one that got better and better as time went on. So I'm really excited. I think it came out like a week or so ago, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Also, Hat Trick just came out this past week, and I read the other books in that series, so I'm really, really excited to read this next one. So those are going to be top books for me for June. So
Yeah. Nice. Well, that's awesome. Can't wait
yeah,
to come back and talk about June books. And
yay!
hopefully it's just as good as May was because I feel like it was a great. I mean, I think I last month I read 8 books and this will be 9, so I'm hoping to just keep
Yeah,
that
keep
momentum
adding.
going. Yeah, I don't know if I can do much more than 9, maybe 10 if I really push, but with summer and kids being home from school and everything, we'll see how how that
Yeah,
goes. I guess. Um, but yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Let us know what books that you guys read in May or what you'd recommend we read in June. That would be
yeah,
awesome.
can't wait.
Comments. All right, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye.